I swing futures all the time at night. I literally will place a stop, put in my order, and then just go to sleep. What's going on, guys? Welcome to It's the World, and today we're gonna be going over a trade breakdown of how I made $1,200 on trading gold. Now, to be completely transparent with you guys, I'm a higher time frame trader. Okay, I don't trade anything below the 4 hour, just the 4 hour daily and the weekly. That is it. So if that is not your style, then maybe this isn't the right page for you. But if you're looking for something that might be a little bit more consistent, but something that you have to wait a little longer for, but better confirmation, then this is the right page. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you want to only. And let's go ahead and just break this thing down. All right, guys, so a little bit about me. I've been trading for the last 5.5 years, and I traded options actually for 3.5 years, and that just wasn't working out for me. The thing about options that I didn't like is that you have to, get the right contract, you have to have the right time, you have to worry about the theta, and it's so much. So I moved over to futures where you only literally have to buy and sell, and that changed the entire game for me. Another thing that changed the game for me was one day I sat back and I said, you know what, this smaller time frame thing isn't working out. And I happened to see a video of some guy that said, if you trade the higher time frame, you will become a better day trader. Now, I ignored that advice for a while until I actually sat down in my room and I said, okay, what is something that is going to change trading for me? Okay, this smaller time frame thing is not working out for me. It fakes me out too much. There's too much movement, and I want to see the entire picture. I want to know how these guys know exactly where the market is going, and that is exactly why I started getting a lot of views on TikTok. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna move over to YouTube and start teaching this for free, because I don't believe in charging for courses because of so much scamming that's happened to me and included to other people. And we're in a hard ass economy as it is. So I want people to be able to succeed. I already have other sources of income, and I just want to share my information because I know this kind of trading isn't going to be for everybody. So, and at the end of the day, in my opinion, I don't think you can really sell a course for trading because you're never going to be inside someone's head. You're never going to be in their psychology. You have to figure out what works for you before you take anyone's strategy. I could give you $1 million strategy and it still wouldn't work for you. That's why I'm very against selling courses. Now, do I teach people individually? Yeah, I'll teach them individually for a small cost, depending how long they want to, they want to sit down for. But that's basically it. I'll teach people for free on TikTok all the time and gain a lot of followers on there and on Instagram. So I'm getting ready to start releasing more videos on YouTube. So let's go over this trade breakdown, guys. All right, so as you guys can see, now I'm always looking at whenever I chart, I always look at the monthly and I look at the weekly first. I start with the monthly just to be able to see where the market is going and where it could be potentially heading, right? And I mark out my areas of, I mark out fair value gaps and I mark out trend lines. That's all I work with. Next, I look at the weekly, and then I go to the weekly and then I look, okay. And then, okay, I see a fair value gap here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that down, right? And I'm going to put it right here, right? Exactly where it's bouncing from. And then we have a trend line all the way down here. Okay? So this allows me to see where things could be potentially going. So now I know that if we break below this box, this weekly candle closes below this box, I know that gold is ready to even come down even more. So now we're gonna go ahead and go over the breakdown of the shorts that I took on gold, so you can see what I was looking at. So this trade was initially done off the daily. Okay, so we have a downward trend line here, and we started trending down, right? And then I said on my Discord, I said if this daily candle closes below this and retest this, we are good to enter gold shorts. And I was able to catch it around right here. I bought one contract and then I took another contract at the very top. Now, my stop loss is going to be above the trend line because that's where your trade is most likely invalid, right? And I swung this. I swing futures all the time at night. I literally will place a stop, put in my order, and then just go to sleep. Listen, guys, the number one thing you should be worrying about in trading is worrying about where your stop loss is going to be. Having the perfect stop loss is key to not worrying about your trades. Yes, a little bit of psychology is going to run in there and you're going to be like, oh, should I get out? Right? But that's what's going to keep you from being scared of like getting out or getting in, because you know where your stop loss is. So that's number one key in trading, I believe, in my opinion, right? You should know where your stop loss is. So it should be above the box on the daily, right? So we get a daily candle above this, then we can get out of the trade, especially if it closes above. That means that the trade is no longer valid and this is getting ready to move up. But since we took the shorts right here and it's on the daily time frame, my confirmation is way bigger than a 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, an hour, and so on, right? Because I only do 4 hour and above. So the 4 hour is very good for confirmation as well, in my opinion. Sometimes I'll trade the hourly, but very, very rarely. So when we took these shorts, my price target was these lows right here where it could potentially bounce. So I had a set order to sell right here above where it could bounce. And that's it. That's basically what I did. It's very easy. I waited for this play for about 2 weeks now, like, you know what I mean? But it was well worth it, right? So if I can get the right trade and wait for the right confirmation, I'd rather look for the big move and capture the big move than exhaust myself trading smaller time frame and getting in and out, in and out, in and out. And that just wasn't mentally, that just was like exhausting to me. After doing this for 5.5 years, I wanted to have a system down that I could literally go to Publix, go to the gym, leave my order in, and be able to know that if I lose, I did my exact best to be able to win that trade. And that's it. I wanted to make trading as simple as possible for me. Now, I am on 5 funded accounts. And I do not believe in always, like, if you look, okay. And I do not believe in showing P&Ls because, again, it's not about my P&L. It's about the structure of how you trade. So I'd rather teach you guys how to trade, how I do it, so you can take a little 1% of what I do and then run with it, right? Because you'll never be in my head. You'll never actually... I don't think you can really be in anyone's, like, I don't think you can ever take anyone's strategy 100%. That's why I think selling courses is bullshit. But again, I always do lives on TikTok and I will start doing lives on YouTube once I get more subscribers. But that's basically the trade breakdown. And I'll go ahead and keep dropping breakdowns on my trades so you guys can see. My trading may be a little bit boring for a lot of you guys because it's a lot of waiting, but you know what? It keeps my mind healthy. And that's all I care about. So if you guys like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want. And I'll just keep dropping more videos. All right. I'll see you boys later. Thank you so much.